Good morning and welcome to Wednesday Mornings with Doug Tobin. Doug Tobin is our broker of record here at Intero Real Estate. And what this show is about is we're here to answer questions for you that are real estate related. Regardless if you are a buyer or a seller or just trying to figure out your options, or even if you are an agent and you happen to work for another broker. If you have any questions, you have the ability to contact Doug or myself, and we're here to help you. So, Doug, as the broker of record for Intero, what does that entail?
Thank you, Tammy. Being the broker of record means ultimately that I'm on the line for every transaction that the Intero Real Estate Services Corporate does. That covers 16 offices in the Bay Area and probably about 1,600 agents total.
Oh, wow. So it's fair to say that you are really qualified for answering questions because you know the legal side as well, correct?
Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, and how long have you been in the business for?
Over 40 years, actually.
Okay, cool. So what you have available to you is you have a real estate expert who's not only been in the business over 40 years, but he's a skilled agent that lends his expertise to Intero Real Estate when their legal issues come up. So today we have two questions that Doug has received, and they're common questions that we find here in the Bay Area. And the first question is, what is the benefit of using an agent versus being a for sale by owner?
In this market, you need the best representation you can get. Things are moving so quickly, multiple offers, and people are not taking their time when they buy a property. If you've made offers on several properties and then you get an offer accepted, do you really know what you get? Do you really understand the ramifications of it? You need a good agent on your side, both representing the buyer and the seller. The big advantage that we have in it is publicizing your property to the most people possible. Basic supply and demand says that if you can get it in front of more people, there's likely higher and quicker sale. So at Intero, we have a lot of agents, and they always have listings coming up, people we know, and that sort of thing coming on. So we get first crack at a lot of these listings, and about 30% of the listings that are sold never do even make it to market. And if they do, you really want it on the multiple listing system. Again, it reaches the most buyers.
Okay, so Doug, playing devil's advocate for 2 seconds, you know, we do have it where for sale by owners can go get an e-brokerage and put their homes on the MLS. What are the benefits of actually using an agent versus one of those institutions?
Well, if you think about it, with all of the legal liability involved in selling a home, all of the disclosures, all of the issues that you can get into, you want to make sure that your transaction is solid. It's too easy to miss something important, misinterpret something, and if that happens, if you're a for sale by owner and you sell your house and you're not careful, there's a lot of liability that can come up down the road. And basically, we pay for ourselves, just the additional exposure and getting it in front of the most people. We will more than pay for the difference than the money you would save on one of the online brokerages.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to our next question. So, speaking of the benefit of using an agent, our next question is, how do you find a qualified agent to sell your home, and what do we need to ask and look for?
Again, well, the best bet is always referrals. Who do you know? Who does your CPA know? Who does your attorney know? You want to find somebody that's got some experience, that's been doing some business. You don't necessarily be doing 50 transactions a year, but you want somebody that is really in the business and is doing a good job. It's easy to get lots of names, but you want to explore those names. If you're in a neighborhood, there's always somebody that sells a lot of homes. Not a bad person to talk to, but don't overcommit to them. Make sure you've got plenty of choices. Ask around, check their references, check with some of their more recent clients.
So it would be fair to say, being that you are broker of record, you kind of get the backstory of when people don't use these entities. They don't use an agent, and they don't ask these questions, correct?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Doug, thank you so much for coming. And we are, if you have any questions for Doug, if you're looking at this via Facebook, Doug's contact information is going to be in the box below. If you're looking at this via YouTube, it's going to be in the box. Let's reverse that. A box above for Facebook, box below for YouTube. We look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you again, Doug.
Thank you.
Have a
Judy.
great day.
Thank you.